modifications of child support must be justified by a non-deliberate or non-fault-based change in the income of the parties. Navigating child support modifications involves two key categories: changes in income and alterations in the number of qualifying children. When it comes to the first category of child support modifications, changes in income, reasons like a job loss or promotion can justify a modification, but deliberate choices may not. The second category, involving children aging out or experiencing life changes, brings a unique twist. Although the child may age out, seeking an immediate modification may not always be financially advantageous. So let's explore why careful consideration and financial foresight play a crucial role in these scenarios of modification. The first category of child support modifications is based on a change in income. Financial circumstances can significantly change over time. Job losses, promotions, or changes in income are common reasons for a parent seeking a modification of child support. Now, to succeed in this child support modification, the party seeking the modification must provide evidence of a substantial change in their financial circumstances. But keep in mind that if the reason for the large change in circumstances is due to your own personal choices, it may not justify a modification. For instance, if you're the paying party and you decide to quit your job to go back to school, don't expect your child support payment to change. That is your decision, and a reduction in child support would end up having the net effect of pushing that financial burden created by the reduction in child support onto your ex. So the courts aren't likely to approve that. Similarly, if the party receiving the child support quits their job to go back to school and then runs a child support worksheet with zero income on it, it may, on paper, show that the paying party's child support would actually go up. But don't expect the paying party to have to start paying more just because the receiving party voluntarily quit their job, even if they had a good reason. Now, as an aside, zero will never be used as a party's income in a child support worksheet, even if they aren't working. It's required to use at least minimum wage for the calculations, but for this discussion, I was just using zero just to make the point, which is this: modifications of child support must be justified by a non-deliberate or non-fault-based change in the income of the parties. Now I'll talk about the second category of reasons for modification of child support, and that is that a child no longer qualifies for child support payments. This can happen due to a child aging out, marrying, passing away, or even being adopted by another parent who accepts financial responsibility for the child. But this is exceedingly rare, though it is possible. Child support is not just based on the incomes of the parties, it's also based on the number of children qualifying for support. So if a child ages out per the Georgia guidelines for child support, that could lead to a modification of child support by the paying party. It certainly would justify the modification, but let me share something with you. It may not make sense for the paying party to seek that modification or to seek it right away. Why is that? Well, the best way to explain it is just to give you a scenario. Let's say that there are 3 children ages 6, 9, and 10 at the time of the divorce. The paying party is making $80,000 a year. 8 years later, the paying party is making $150,000 a year, and the 10-year-old is now 18 and ages out. You follow me so far? Okay, now there's child support responsibility for just 2 children, not 3, and the paying party certainly qualifies for the modification. But should they seek it? Well, there's a very real and pretty likely probability that at $150,000 a year in income, the child support for 2 children is higher than it would be what's currently being paid for 3 children based upon $80,000 in income at the time of the divorce. It's possible that the child support could go up by several $100s even though one child has aged out. Now, in this scenario, there's another child 1 year behind the oldest one. Remember, they had 3 kids that were 6, 9, and 10 when they got divorced 8 years ago. So now that 9-year-old is 17, and guess what? In 1 year, they will be 18 and they will also age out. Now, it may make more sense for that paying parent to wait 1 more year and do the modification from 3 kids on child support down to 1 child on child support, the youngest one. It's a fairly safe assumption that child support for 1 child at $150,000 a year in income is going to be less than child support for 3 children at $80,000 a year in income. Now, if you're in a situation like this, you should meet with an excellent family law attorney who has a really good head for finances and run some what-if scenarios. I've done this probably 100 times over my many years of practice. In many instances, you may have to make assumptions about what the other parent's income is today if you don't know. Because not only has your income changed, theirs likely has changed as well, depending on how long it's been since the original child support calculation was done. In an ideal situation, both parents are fair and friendly and share their information and calculate the numbers to see if a child support change is warranted. Then they do the modification if it makes sense to do so. Now, I realize that may not be your situation, but there are a lot of post-divorce parents who do get along and just want to make life as easy as possible on everyone and minimize the drama and stress on themselves, their kids, and even their new partners. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click subscribe, like, follow, and turn on the alerts so that you'll get notified when we post our newest videos. Please share these videos and leave us some comments, ask us questions, tell us what other topics you'd like for me to talk about. Join our Facebook group at Georgia Divorce and Custody for more information. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.